The night I realized nobody was coming to save me. There's a moment in everyone's life when the noise stops. Not outside, inside. And when that silence hits, it's loud. That's the night I realized nobody was coming to save me. I used to believe someone would. A friend, a partner, a sign from the universe, some magical turning point. I thought one day I would wake up and feel different, stronger, clearer, fixed. But healing doesn't knock on your door. It waits. And sometimes it waits while you slowly fall apart. I remember that night clearly. The room was dark, phone screen glowing, scrolling through lives that looked happier than mine. Everyone seemed ahead. Everyone seemed certain. Everyone seemed okay. And there I was, overthinking every decision I've ever made. Why did I choose this career? Why did I trust that person? Why am I like this? Overthinking is a quiet form of self-torture. You sit still, but inside, you are running marathons in your mind, and no one sees it. The worst part about silent battles, they don't look dramatic. You still show up. You still smile. You still reply, "I'm good." But inside, you're exhausted from fighting thoughts no one else can hear. I used to think loneliness meant having no one around. That's not true. Loneliness is sitting in a room full of people and feeling like you're speaking a language nobody understands. Loneliness is wanting to explain what's wrong, but not having the right words. Or worse, feeling like your pain would just sound dramatic, so you stay quiet. Silence becomes your coping mechanism. You don't talk about how heavy your chest feels at night. You don't talk about how hard it is to get out of bed some mornings. You don't talk about the fear that maybe you're falling behind in life, because everyone else seems to be moving forward, buying homes, getting married, starting businesses, posting achievements. And you? You're just trying to survive your own thoughts. Nobody talks about the shame of not being where you thought you'd be. At 16, you had dreams. At 20, you had expectations. At 25, you had pressure. And somewhere along the way, you lost the version of yourself you were supposed to become. That realization hurts in a quiet way, not loud enough to scream, but strong enough to keep you awake at 2 a.m. That night, lying in the dark, I asked myself something terrifying. What if this is it? What if this constant overthinking, this quiet sadness, this feeling of being slightly disconnected from life, is just who I am? That thought broke me, because I didn't want to accept that my mind could be my own worst enemy forever. But here's the truth. No one says out loud. Sometimes your mind isn't broken. It's tired. Tired of pretending. Tired of comparison. Tired of trying to meet invisible expectations. We grow up being told, be successful, be strong, be grateful, be positive. But nobody teaches us how to sit with sadness without feeling guilty. Nobody teaches us that it's okay to feel lost. So we fake it. We say, everything happens for a reason. We say, stay positive. We say, it could be worse. But sometimes, you don't need perspective. You need permission. Permission to admit that you're not okay. That night, for the first time, I didn't try to fix myself. I didn't search motivational quotes. I didn't distract myself. I didn't numb it with endless scrolling. I just sat there, with the discomfort, with the thoughts, with the ache in my chest. And something strange happened. The feelings didn't disappear, but they softened. Maybe growth isn't dramatic. Maybe it's not a huge breakthrough moment. Maybe it's just choosing not to run from yourself anymore. We think strength looks loud, but sometimes strength looks like getting out of bed when you don't want to, answering a message when you'd rather isolate, trying again when you feel behind. Small acts of resistance against your own darkness. Here's another truth. No one is coming to save you. And that sounds harsh, but it's also freeing. Because if no one is coming, that means you don't have to wait anymore. You don't have to wait for someone to understand you perfectly. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You don't have to wait to feel ready. You can start messy. You can start tired. You can start scared. Healing doesn't mean you stop overthinking. It means you stop believing every thought. Your mind will say, you're behind. You're not enough. You ruined everything. But thoughts are not facts. They're just noise. And noise doesn't deserve control over your life. The hardest lesson I learned? You can feel lonely and still be worthy. You can feel lost and still be moving. You can feel broken and still be growing. Growth is quiet. It happens in the moments nobody claps for. When you choose not to text the person who hurt you. When you set a boundary. When you admit you need help. That's not weakness. That's evolution. People think darkness is dangerous, but sometimes darkness is honest. It forces you to confront parts of yourself you've ignored. Your fears, your insecurities, your dependency on validation. It strips away fake positivity. And what's left? Just you. Raw, unfiltered, real. That night didn't fix my life. The next day wasn't magically better. I still overthink. I still have lonely moments. I still doubt myself. But now I don't panic when those feelings show up. I don't treat them like enemies. I treat them like signals. Signals that something needs attention. Signals that I'm human. If you're listening to this right now, and you feel lost in your own mind, I need you to understand something. You are not dramatic. You are not weak. You are not broken beyond repair. You are just navigating a world that rarely allows emotional honesty. And surviving that takes strength. No fake positivity here. Life is heavy sometimes. People disappoint you. Dreams change. Plans fail. Trust breaks. And yes, it hurts. But pain doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're experiencing life fully. The version of you that feels exhausted, still worthy. The version of you that cries at night, still worthy. The version of you that doesn't have everything figured out, still worthy. You don't need to become someone else to deserve peace. Maybe nobody is coming to save you. But maybe you don't need saving. Maybe you just need patience with yourself. Maybe you just need to stop fighting your own thoughts and start understanding them. Maybe you just need time. And that's okay. If you've ever felt like your mind is a maze, if you've ever stayed quiet because explaining your pain felt impossible, If you've ever smiled while feeling completely disconnected inside, you're not alone. Not here. This space is for the overthinkers, the silent fighters, the ones who feel too much, the ones who question everything. You belong here, not because you're broken, but because you're honest. And honesty is the beginning of healing. Pause. Softer tone. Take a breath. You've survived every dark night so far. That counts for something. And even if nobody is coming to save you, you're still here. And maybe that's proof that you've been stronger than you thought all along.